Do you have a video interview coming up and would like 15 essential tips on how to be best prepared? Then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Payne, founder of Talenteer and recruitment entrepreneur. I've been in recruitment for 18 years. I've done over 10,000 interviews, hired over 1,000 people, and I'm here to share my recruitment tips with you. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 15 of my top tips for how to be best prepared for a video interview. So here goes. Tip number 1, get your device ready. Whether it's a phone or computer, make sure that it's on a stand or tripod, or for a computer, put some books under the computer and make sure it's at eye level. This way you are looking directly at the people you are interviewing with and they're not looking up at your nose. 2, make sure your devices are fully charged or have them plugged in. You don't want the battery running out mid-interview. Another good tip would actually be to have a second device if one of them goes wrong. So if you're doing an interview on your computer and you get that dreaded blue screen, you could then pick up your phone and just press the link and join the meeting instead of having to take 5-10 minutes to rejoin. 3, download the video interview software. When you receive your interview invite, in that you'll have a link, a URL, and that will take you to the software you'll be using for your interview. This is likely to be Microsoft Teams, Zoom, or Google Hangouts. My recommendation is to download it if you don't already have that, test out the software, maybe set up a call with a friend or family, and make sure that everything's working fine. The worst thing is to try downloading the software 2 minutes before your interview and it makes you late. Be prepared. 4, background. What's behind you? Look behind. When you open up your video software, you will see what the interviewer will see in the picture. So preferably make sure that the background is clean, tidy, and looks relatively professional. It's also good, if you have the option, to have quite neutral colors and make sure your clothing doesn't clash with the background. But that's just an extra point. 5, audio. Test your audio. Make sure that the sound is clear. Make sure there's no echo, and you could potentially open a window slightly or a door if you're in a closed room or an apartment, but just make sure that your sound is on point. 6, lighting. Make sure the lighting is clear on the video. Either sit near a window or make sure the lights are turned on, or you can even use additional accessories. I use an Elgato ring light attached to my desk. This is quite an expensive option, but there are much cheaper options on the market, but it's a really good investment. Having good lighting really helps for the video experience. 7, mute all distractions. Make sure that your phone is on mute or put it on flight mode, and your computer is also muted. You don't want the sound of Slack messages, emails, or text messages coming through while you're trying to focus on the interview. So mute those before you start. Another distraction could also be a screensaver on your computer. A lot of people have the screensaver come up after 5 minutes of inactivity. So when you're looking at a video, after 5 minutes, you're going to get a pop-up on your screen. Quite distracting. Turn off the screensaver. 8, appearance and clothing. It's an interview. Treat it as one. Even though it's a video interview, I'm still an advocate for treating this as if it was in person. So trying to find out the dress code at the company, you feel free to ask them when you've been invited to interview. Ask, hey, is the dress code casual, formal? And you can also see what they're wearing. So I'm always an advocate for dress up rather than dress down and be safe. 9, research. So now you've got your setup ready, it's time to research who you're interviewing with. When you got the invite for your interview, you should find the list of names of who's participating. My tip is to go and find them, go on LinkedIn and find out a bit about them, their background. Maybe you've worked at a company before or you have similar interests. It's really advantageous to find out a bit about who you'll be talking with. That's the people side. Then research the company, find out a bit about them. Go on their website, read about their values, look at other jobs so you get an indication of what the company are hiring for. Get as much information as possible on the company. You can also go on LinkedIn and find out what posts the company have made recently so you're up to date with what they're doing. And the position. Research the position. You probably have the job ad from when you first applied, or if you can no longer find it, feel free to reach out to the company and say, hi, do you mind if you resend me the job ad? Read through the job ad, familiarize yourself with it, look at the requirements, and be prepared to answer questions around the work experience. If you're finding any of these tips useful, then please do subscribe to my channel where you'll receive weekly updates and recruitment tips and tricks. 10. Body language and facial expression. It's a very good thing to sit upright, look at the camera and smile. This projects really well over the video interview. 11. If there's more than one participant on the video interview, a little tip could actually be to give eye contact to the person you're getting the best rapport with. This is natural. There could be 3-4 people looking at you on the camera, but you're finding that one of the people are really resonating with you. It's a really good tip to focus on this person, have the chemistry, smile and keep talking. This is a little advantage over doing a face-to-face interview where normally you would have to look around the room and give different people eye contact. That said, another great tip could be to look at the camera itself. That way the interviewers see that you're looking directly at them rather than away from the camera. However, this can take practice. So if you're not comfortable looking at the camera and talking, then focus on one person. 12. Keep your answers on point. I recommend using the STAR method when answering questions. STAR stands for situation, task, action, result. Using this short formula when answering questions really does add structure to your question. Try not to waffle and talk too long, and by all means when you've finished answering the question, you can ask the interviewer, did that answer your question or would you like me to elaborate? 13. Be prepared for the common interview questions. These can be, tell us a bit about yourself. Talk me through your CV. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That dreaded question. I've got some videos coming up on these exact interview questions, but be prepared on these. 14. Always have your own questions prepared. Sometimes during the interview, they will actually naturally answer some of your questions you've thought of. So if at the end they say, do you have any questions for us? It's not ideal to say, no, I can't think of any. Have some prepared. 3, 4, 5 questions. Here's a few examples. Can you tell me a bit about the team that I might be joining? What are the growth plans for the company? If I was to join, what would you like me to achieve in my first 3 months? That's just 3 examples, and there can be many more. 15, and my last tip for today. Ask about salary and timeline. Yes, it is fine to ask this in your first interview. Tell them what your expectations are. By all means, tell them that you have other interviews in process and you would ideally like to choose your ideal next role in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Be transparent. This helps everybody. So, there are my 15 tips on how to best prepare for a video interview. I hope you find some of those useful. If you did, or if you can think of any other things that you would like me to cover, please comment below and I would love to hear from you. Also, if you'd like additional tips and tricks or examples to these questions I mentioned, then please subscribe to my channel and click on the notifications and you will receive videos on a weekly basis. Finally, you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me, Christian Payne, and I post 3 to 5 times a week, every week on LinkedIn. Thank you and good luck for your interview.